Oh, well, hello and welcome to another episode. I believe this is episode number 4, depending on what order I put them out in. Just been having a few technical difficulties of getting my camera to focus on my face. So hopefully, yeah, we're still there. You've got my beautiful, shiny face in front of you. Um, yeah. So this is episode number 4. Welcome to the What's Your Glimmer podcast. I am your host, Annie. And I guess I'm just going to talk some more nonsense at you. And whether you like listening to that or not, it's gonna happen. And I thought in today's episode, I would talk a little bit about having keywords in your passion business. I find these really, really helpful when I'm trying to work out if something that I'm creating is fitting within the vision and the mission and the core values of my business. These are some quite key foundational things that you do need for your business in order for you to make sure that you are staying on brand. And unfortunately, you do need to have a brand and you do need to have things like your brand colors and stuff. But I found that actually by spending a little bit of time, and the way that I did this was I spent time either in meditation or in mindfulness, and these words kind of came to me. For my product business, which is jewelry making and crystal healing, I am an advanced crystal healer and I specialize in distance healing because I can't do anything else because I quite often have to be at home and in isolation. We spent a lot of time in isolation waiting for CT scans for my son's lungs. And actually, that was when I did my training to be a crystal healer. And discovered that there are a lot of people out there who kind of need that help and are open to doing distanced work. So that's kind of, I don't think I've actually specified what my business is, what my product business is on here. So that's my original passion business. It didn't start like that. Had quite a long journey, but we're not going to get into all of that. But the 3 key words that I have for that business are flow, heal, and grow. And if you go onto my website, they are pretty much the first words that you will see on there. And when I'm creating content, if I'm creating a product, if I've got something that I'm selling that I'm feeling a bit funny about, I will just reflect and I will go back to my keywords and I will see whether it fits with the flow of those words. And if it doesn't, then I know that it either doesn't need to be part of my business and I can let it grow, or I can adapt and grow it into being something that fits into my passion business. So recently, in fact, today, I have stopped selling mystery boxes, which were a means for me to clear some space in my office with old line stock or stock that I'd made kind of one-offs of whilst recording for my other YouTube channel, um, for my Mini Moon Arts YouTube channel. Or I'd just been playing with designs and I'd made them and I'd been too lazy to take photographs and put them on the website. So I had quite a lot of stuff kind of hanging around and I created these mystery boxes and they were insane value, like crazy, crazy value. I think it was £15 for £50 of value, £30 for £100 of value with various different variations that you could buy. And I got to a point where actually I found that they were becoming quite a chore in my business. And I was falling out of love with my business because I was spending so much time putting these boxes together. They were very popular, understandably so. And in the lead up to Christmas, like you can totally understand it. We're in a cost of living crisis. So people want a bargain. And I was more than happy to provide that. And I did really enjoy making the boxes. Um, So I found that I was actualizing these products into something that fit with the flow, heal, and grow. And I was choosing things intuitively rather than just putting things in a box and sending them out, which is what the purpose was. I was actually like making new jewelry for them and all sorts. And the amount of time and effort that I was putting into them was not worth the value that it was bringing in. And it was damaging my relationship with my business. There was no flow, heal, or grow within that. And so I made the decision that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And it felt like quite a scary decision because for a couple of months, actually, it's been the main income for my business. Um, and it's very scary when you're at that point and you think, I need the money to come in, but I'm just not, I just don't like this thing in my business anymore and I don't want to do it anymore. And that isn't the purpose of having a passion business. The purpose of having a passion business is that you do something that you love, something that you want to see grow, something you're really passionate about. That's why I call it a passion business, because you're passionate about it. So, yeah, those are the three words that I have for that business. And I use them as guides. I use them as guides to make sure that what I am putting out and what I am putting into my business aligns with my vision, with my mission, with my core values, and with my goals and what I want that business to be. It's very helpful. Um, and then the three keywords that I have for the Glimmer Seekers are inspiration, motivation, joyfulness. And these words, they kind of been pottering about as we'd been forming the collective, conceiving of the idea, putting it all together. I had some really wonderful people supporting me in that, who literally on the daily would be getting me going blah, 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 all about it, and demanding that they respond. I'm very grateful to those people. You know who you are. And you're probably listening to this because I will have made you, in the nicest possible way, obviously. And I just got to the point where I just needed to take a break and go for a run. And within the flow of the run, and I'm going to keep saying flow because flow is my word of the year. Within the flow of my run, I just had these words coming to me and they were just going round and round and round. And it was inspiration, motivation, joyfulness. And as I was running, I just kept hearing it: inspiration, motivation, joyfulness. And I'm probably shaking the camera there. So, soz. But after I came back from that run, it just clicked. It did just click. And now when I'm working and creating for the Glimmer Seekers, when I'm putting anything out with the Glimmer Seekers, I'm like, does this fit with the inspiration, motivation, and joyfulness aspect of my business? Because that is my business. That is what it's about. It is about inspiration and motivation and joyfulness. And the fantastic thing about those three words is you can put them in any order. So inspiration can create motivation, which will then lead to joyfulness. Joyfulness can create inspiration that then leads to motivation. Motivation can create joyfulness, which then leads to inspiration. Like there's no end. Well, I mean, I guess there probably is an end to how many combinations you can make, but it's an infinite flow. And they work so perfectly together. And when I look back at my mission and my vision and my core values, the foundations of the business, it fits. And it has been a absolutely wonderful, fabulous, fantastic guide. And I feel like, I mean, it's not something that anyone really told me to do particularly. I think having a word of a year or word of the month, which we do a word of the month in the collective. I learned to do word of the year when I was part of Teresa Heath-Waring's Dream Business Club, which was a fantastic membership. And that one was a bit of a funny one because I'd actually chosen a crystal of the year. So I do a crystal of the year. And the crystal that I had chosen to be the crystal of the year, because crystals choose you, you don't choose them. And it was rainbow fluorite. And when we were kind of doing the business club stuff, we were advised to pick a word of the year, and this word just kept coming to me, and so from so many different aspects, and it was the word flow. And it was like being beaten around the head with the word, to be quite honest. It was just coming from everywhere, and I had to pick it. And I was doing some research into rainbow fluorite, and I learned that its original name was fluorspar, and fleur means in ancient Greek means flow. So I mean, and honestly, like I had no idea until after I'd chosen the word of the year. And it just is just so perfect. And everything within this year really has kind of been a product of flow, with going with the intuition and following the flow. And that is why it's one of the key words within my product business. And it will be a keyword that stays with me forever, because I think there's so much that you can learn from going with the flow and listening to the flow, finding that intuition, connecting with your intuition, which is the tricky bit. And then the second tricky bit, excuse my voice, is trusting your intuition and allowing your intuition to override your logical mind. And that in itself is a whole subject and a whole discussion. But from today, I would love, absolutely love it if you maybe would challenge yourself to find your 3 words. And I picked 3 because 3 is a very strong number. I don't know. I just really like the number 3. I've just always liked the number 3. But 3 really works. It's like it creates the triangle, and triangle is like the strongest, the strongest shape, isn't it? Like for if you're doing engineering and stuff like that. I'm just waffling now. But yeah, maybe sit down, do some mindfulness or meditation, do some deep breathing, really kind of find your center and just listen and see if something comes up, and write it down, or go for a run like I did and see what comes up. I would love to know if you do come up with those 3 words and what they mean in relation to you and your business, and if they do fit with what your vision is, and whether it highlights that there are things that you have going on within your passion business that maybe don't fit. And maybe this will be kind of your breakthrough moment in order for you to empower yourself to say, this doesn't fit. This isn't what I want to be doing. I can either lose this and take that leap, and it is scary, I promise you. Or I can adapt it and I can find a way to make it work and flow within my passion business. I think this is probably a slightly quicker podcast than the last one. I don't know what sort of length that you like, but basically I'm just going to speak and I'm just going to let it flow. Anyway, I hope you have a really beautiful and wonderful day. I hope you find your 3 words. Please, please let me know if you do. Remember, you can always find me on Instagram at glimmer.seekers. No, it's glimmer.seekers for Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but I don't really hang out there. And if you fancy checking out the collective, then you just go to www.glimmerseekers.com. And I feel like I'm in my brave zone saying that, because I've not actually kind of said to you, come and join us. I would love for you to join us. Join the club, group, collective, that. All right, cheeky chicken, I will catch you in the next episode. I hope you have a wonderful day and a fabulous week. And yeah, be wonderful. Find your words. Bye-bye.